For all of this pumpkin deliciousness here, what I used was some pumpkin puree. This is optional, or if you want to use vanilla extract. 1 cup of almond flour and 2 cups of pecans that I actually grinded myself in my little blender. I used a nut grinder. And I did use some of the pumpkin pie spice because I didn't have any. I kind of used this in place of the cloves because I didn't have any ground cloves, but I did ended up grinding some cloves a little bit, about 1/4 teaspoon of it anyway, and putting it in there. So we'll see how that comes out, but you probably could substitute it and just use some pumpkin pie spice. This has allspice in it, and I think the allspice has cloves in it. So cinnamon. Then I get the nutmeg. And for my egg replacement, I did 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal. But yeah, the flaxseed meal you can just do. I did 1/4 cup of water, and I heat the water up in the microwave to get it kind of hot. And I did 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal. Salt. I was gonna try some coconut sugar, but I just went ahead and added some real granulated sugar. And this is the pan that I'm using, so I'm just pressing this down into my pan, a very small pan. So I'm not going to use all of my mix. That's how much I have left. So I don't want to overpower my crust with the pumpkin mixture. I just love crust. I'm going to put about that much in there. And then what I'm going to do is just crumble some of the crust that I have left on the top of the pie, because like I say, I love crust. I love at Thanksgiving time when I was a vegetarian. And I can't remember, I don't know if it was Marie Claire who had that pumpkin, some type of pumpkin pie, but it had some type of pecan streusel or something. And oh my gosh, like we used to get at least 2 or 3 or 4 pies to take over to my mom's house for Thanksgiving. It's the big, like I used to look forward to that. But when you become a vegan, you got to cook almost everything at home, and I can't say this enough, you have to learn how to mimic recipes of the things that you used to like when you wasn't a vegan or even sometimes a vegetarian. You got to learn how to make that stuff, just like how your mom taught you how to cook in the conventional way of eating when you used to eat meat or eggs and dairy. You got to learn the same way. It's almost like learning all over again. So that's one thing I will be stressing a lot of, and you probably see me do some mimic recipes on this channel because it is so important to get that right, to learn how to mimic the stuff that you used to like when you wasn't a vegan or vegetarian, because it will save you in the end. You won't quit at this type of eating if you have food that you enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to pop this into the oven for up to 45 minutes. And I'm just going to keep checking it to see how well it dries out, about that water, and how well it cooks. This is almost 30 minutes later. A lot of times what I do with my nut crusts also is put it into the oven for a little bit and let the crust get really hard and crusty before I add the filling, and then I'll just go back and add the filling and then pop it back into the oven. So I like to do that a lot. I didn't do that with this one, but I do like doing that a lot with my different crusts that I make. Look how beautiful that is. The filling is nice and dark. What's on top is nice and crusty and brown.